fucking wet napkin.
In a family of elite combat athletes and top-tier performers, the final boss has always stood out, even when he was just a blue chipper. But there wouldn't be a final boss, there wouldn't even be a bloodline if it wasn't for The Rock's grandfather, the Highchief Peter Maivia. You can think of him as the first boss. Predecessor to the tribal chief.
He is one of, if not the foundation for our family. The Anawa'i Fatu Maiviavs wrestling dynasty. I don't think there's anybody more responsible for what's going on now than the Highchief himself.
Peter Maivia isn't simply one of the two principals behind the sacred blood bond. He's also an incredibly decorated professional wrestler who traveled the world and won titles everywhere he went. New Zealand, Japan, Europe, and here in the United States, where he enjoyed especially successful runs in Hawaii and California. Maivia would eventually find his way to WWE, engaging in legendary battles with the likes of superstar Billy Graham. His larger-than-life personality would win the WWE Universe over in short order, as it had throughout his entire career. In the ring, Highchief Peter Maivia was a potent blend of brawn and grappling technique, often muscling his opponents down to the mat through a variety of joint locks and then switching to more painful holds once grounded. His sleeper hold and stump puller were both feared and renowned, and make no mistake about it, Maivia knew there was always more than one path to the ultimate victory. Out of the ring, Highchief Peter Maivia also ran one of the most successful wrestling promotions on the planet, Polynesian Pro Wrestling, based out of Hawaii, showing his mastery of the business in every aspect. His induction into WWE's Hall of Fame class of 2008 was supremely deserved, forever enshrining Peter Maivia as the legend he always was. And now, we present to you the opportunity to walk in the boots of the legendary Highchief Peter Maivia, facing off against one of the most legendary WWE rivals, George the Animal Steele.
Uh-oh, somebody called the local zoo.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is a steel cage match. Introducing first, from Detroit, Michigan, weighing in at 275 pounds, George the Animal Steele.
I'm not even sure the cage can contain this man.
And strolling down the aisle, the opponent of George Steele, Peter Maivia.
Always a chaotic matchup.
His opponent from the Isle of Samoa, weighing in at 275 pounds, Highchief Peter Maivia.
Steele had better keep an eye on Maivia, because Maivia is a true brawler. Few men can handle the chaos of the animal inside a steel cage, but I believe the Highchief is ready.
Maivia carrying such pride into the ring.
Very stark contrast to Steele. We'll see which prevails tonight.
Highchief Peter Maivia taking on George the Animal Steel in a steel cage match. Quite a heated history between these two guys.
Yeah, Michael, and I think it's because Maivia is one of the few superstars brave enough to take on the Animal. Most of their contests have ended in countouts or disqualifications. Thanks to the cage, we'll get a decisive victory in this one.
Well, that really depends on if a cage can even contain that. George the Animal Steel might be a bit of an underdog here. In fact, he lost the match by countout to the Highchief.
In Steel's defense, I'm not sure he knows how to count exactly or how to read a rule book. So he's got to be happy to be in this cage.
Well, Maivia is called the Highchief in part because of his commanding presence in the ring. He's more than ready for what the Animal will throw at him, even inside. A cage. Just ruthless.
That showed a complete lack of respect for your competition and for our sport. Peter Maivia is looking unstoppable now.
Yeah, Maivia has really figured the Animal out here.
Headbutt.
George the Animal Steel is not a wrestler by any stretch of the imagination, guys. He's a true brawler.
And he might be the best brawler in WWE, Michael. There is no shortage of fight in the Animal.
But you know who might be a better brawler, guys? The Highchief Peter Maivia. When you consider that Maivia is also an excellent high flyer and a great technician, well, you can see why the Highchief is the favorite in this match, even with the steel cage stipulation.
Shoulders are down.
But is it enough?
Kick out before the refs count.
Able to get that shoulder up so quickly. What a statement.
Two very opposing styles in every sense of the word, Corey. Highchief Maiviavs is a much more physically gifted and talented athlete in the ring than Steel. What's it going to take for the Animal to get the upper hand here?
Well, he's got to be even more chaotic than ever inside this cage. Nothing about Steel makes sense to someone as traditional as Maivia. There's never any telling what the Animal's going to do in a match, and he needs to keep it that way.
Fends off the attack with an elbow. When a man like Peter Maivia signs up for a match with the Animal, he doesn't know what to expect, just to expect anything in the world.
Peter Maivia knows full well that he's in for some unusual treatment tonight. In fact, Steel often has
shoulders down, cover. Shoulders up.
This isn't even close to over.
And here he goes, is sending up the steel cage.
Going up and possibly out.
He's reached the highest limit of the cage now.
Look at Maivia going to work on the Animal.
The Highchief has all the answers right now.
The Highchief Peter Maivia really making a name for himself at WWE, but he's had plenty of experience on the way up.
Plenty of championships on the West Coast, but he's made the biggest splash in Hawaii, where he earned multiple tag team titles.
Oh yeah, Maivia is a huge celebrity on the islands. In fact, I've heard some consider him the personification of Maui.
What a counter by Peter Maivia.
Headlock cinched in, just tossed their opponent.
Being able to pull that off, no one is going to question if you skip going to the gym today. He left himself. Oh no, getting into.
Wait, hold on, look at this. And he's found a way out of the hold.
Boom, running STO plants him.
Nicely done.
Peter Maivia very
from the heavens. Big body splash from the top.
Maivia overwhelming his opponent here.
And you can see Steel is struggling to weather the storm with the Highchief. Oof. Talk about force. That'll give you whiplash.
Oh! Foot just stomping down.
And a disorienting blow to the head there.
Oh, countering with a chop block will halter any attack.
Going right after the arm and taking down their opponent effectively. Punish
The pin. It's all or nothing time. And kicks out before the refs count.
Where in the world does one find such strength at this stage to kick out that early in the count?
You got to admire the determination here.
Scaling the steel cage wall. Victory could be close at hand, but first he's got to get himself over the top of the cage.
This is what he's been training for. This moment right here.
And he's straddling the top of the cage, just feet away from making it to the outside.
Not a lot of room for error up here.
Carefully planning his escape.
Bam!
Gentlemen, we've touched on the differences between Maivia and Steel as competitors. One man based on order, the other on watch out! Boom!
George is tied up here.
Ooh, man, backbreaker. And George is laid out.
Measured up nicely.
Fist drop! Peter Maivia now with the upper hand.
Steel now just trying to survive.
Headlock. Oh, cheap shot right above the eye. Nice side headlock applied. Oh, and a right hand for good measure. Down to and a double axe handle smash.
Some folks call Peter Maivia the Flying Hawaiian, and the reasons are obvious for that moniker. But guys, how has he earned the other nickname of the Highchief?
Well, Cole, Peter Maivia is very close to the Anawati family. In fact, Peter's considered a blood brother to the patriarch of that clan.
When you add on the fact that Maivia was born and raised in Samoa, you can see the great pride he has for that land and its people and the tribal ink that covers his body.
He's in a bad place. This is where it could all end for him.
Oh, God. Maivia just dominated the animal with that one. Maivia has Steel in his sights, looking to put the...
Here we go again. What a backbreaker. Is it enough? Is it enough for Peter Maivia? Uh-oh.
Maivia overwhelming his opponent here.
Maivia he's going back to the well.
Oh, man. Backbreaker.
And this has to be the end of it.
He's going to ascend the cage.
The summit of this steel cage is in sight, gentlemen.
Finally reaching the top of the cage here. And all he has to do is finish getting over the top of the cage, and he's home free.
You can almost taste it now.
Having a problem lifting that other leg over.
And the Highchief defeats the animal.
Here is your winner, Highchief Peter Maivia.
Anytime these two have faced off, it's been eye for an eye. But the steel cage has finally delivered a decisive victory